Welcome to the figureFIT podcast, where we discuss fitness, paleo nutrition, yoga, meditation, spirituality, and other ways to have a happy, peaceful, and abundant life. And here's your host, Liz Nierzwicki.
Hello, my loves, and welcome back. So some of you are aware of what's going on with me, and I don't know if I've really spoke about it too much. But on June 20th, I had my tonsils removed because I was experiencing reoccurring bouts of strep. And every time that I would get off antibiotics, it would come back within about 2 to 3 weeks. I'd get back on antibiotics, and then it would go away, and then the same thing would happen. And I dealt with this for about 6 months. So finally decided with my doctor to have my tonsils removed. Now here, I am 4 weeks. Yesterday was 4 weeks post surgery. And it's been crazy. It's been a very, very tough recovery. The first 2 weeks were miserable. Not going to lie about that one at all. For me, being so into understanding health and fitness in my body, and I'm a big researcher. That's what I do. I did that before I, even had the surgery. Like, oh, do I really want to do this? Because this is taking out 2 pieces of the immune system. And the tonsils are part of, helping the immune system do its job. And so when you remove something like that, what's going to happen? And that was my question. So, now here I am 4 weeks later. And I am experiencing still soreness in my throat. It's still red. Obviously, this makes sense to me, totally. Because when think about when when you were a kid and you fell down and you scabbed your knee. How long did it take for that scab to go away? It took weeks. And then underneath that, hopefully you didn't pull the scab off. Some people do that. But even after that, underneath that, when it falls off on its own, there's that fresh new baby skin, right? And so that's really where I'm at right now. And the amazing thing about the mouth is one of the fastest healing parts of the body. So not sure exactly if it's the back of the throat as well, but I would assume so. And so I am still having pain. I'm still having sensitivity. And, last week I put out the podcast on the protein and how much protein we should be having. And I am really hyper-focused right now on taking in protein that is building up my tissues. So I figured, why not share my research with you guys? Because, this can help anyone if they have ever broken something and their tissues are trying to rebuild and they're trying to repair. Maybe some of you have recently gone through a surgery, or somebody who has gone through a surgery. And, it's very, very easy. I'm going to tell you guys something kind of funny. It's very, very easy to get kind of lazy with your nutrition when you're not feeling so good. But that is the most important time to amp up your nutrition and to be really hyper-focused on putting into your body the best nutrients possible so that you can repair your body in the way that it needs to be repaired. And right now in my mouth, there is like when the body is healing, I didn't know this, but so there's this like taste. It's not like a taste. It's just this overall, I guess maybe I would have to say it is like kind of like a taste. It's not like I taste anything, but when I'm eating, I don't taste the food. I was thinking, when did this affect my, my taste buds? Or did the tonsils have some sort of, persuasion in the way that we taste food? These were all kind of little thoughts that I was thinking. And then, before I was even thinking that, I was talking to a client at my studio, and I was telling her that there's this kind of like its own phlegm in my mouth. And there was a doctor there at that time. And I stopped and I looked at her because it just dawned on me. I'm like, wait, she's a doctor. She can help me. And I looked at her and I go, what is that? What is that phlegm that's in the back of my throat? And she goes, well, that's your your body healing, and that's just doing its own, it's like letting off its own chemicals and it's releasing its own things to heal itself. And so it's gonna basically blanket your mouth and your food with that phlegm or whatever, that flavor. And I was like, oh, it sucks. And so here I am 4 weeks later, and it's still here. The first 2 weeks I wasn't eating much anyways, because you can't really swallow anything except, liquids. And so now I'm finally able to eat solid foods again, but nothing tastes good, you guys. Nothing. I went to the store and I went to Whole Foods and I bought grass-fed ground beef, and I bought bacon, and I bought some ice cream, some coconut ice cream bars, because I was like, yes, I get to finally eat. Woo! And I got home, and the next day I made bacon, and the bacon, you guys, it's so salty, right? And it's always so good. It tasted just like so bland to me. And then I had this coconut little ice cream bar, and it was not that good. I'm like, I'll have another. Maybe it'll taste better if I have two. And nope, that didn't work. And so now it's just, I'm bored with the food that I'm having. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's a really great weight loss tool because I don't even want to eat. And so the only thing that I have found that tastes good is one day I went to the Dairy Queen to get something cold when I was unable to swallow anything. And I was like, what, I'll have this thing. It's a coffee. It's like an Oreo frappe coffee. And I thought that'll work. I can have that. I love coffee. And this has Oreos in it. Okay, I'll give it a go. And no, that's not paleo. And it's not good for me, and I know it, but what are you going to do when you can't even eat anything anyways? I wanted a freaking Oreo frappe, so don't judge me. And so I had it, and it was so good. Now, I'll tell you, my sweet taste buds aren't really affected too much. They are a little bit, but that Oreo frappe was so stinking good. So therefore, I got hooked, and I pretty much went there almost every other day for like 2 weeks and got one of those. And now that I'm talking about it, I might actually go get one today on my way into the studio tonight. I might just have to do that because it's like, you got to find little things that are pleasurable to you. And that right now is pleasurable to me because nothing else is. Nothing. Food is so boring. It doesn't taste good. So, I guess you don't really even think about how much pleasure we put into eating. And now I'm just so grateful that, my taste is going to come back. I'm putting that out there because I'm hopeful that it will. I would assume that it would. Okay, I am starting to build up this little habit. I am hyper aware that I am going to need to do the work to just start to break this, as the taste comes back to my taste buds. And this is like the one thing I'm kind of splurging on, but my diet is really squeaky clean and I'm eating really healthy anyways with everything that I am eating. Although it doesn't taste good, I'm still eating healthy. Like today was salmon and saute. It was so good. I sauteed some onions and then I made this Atlantic salmon with some lemon garlic seasoning, and it was just so good. I put it on a bed of mixed greens and it was just so good. I added some salt to it so I could taste it, and it was so good. So, like anything, we gotta just be really aware. That's my thing. We just have to be aware because awareness is our power. So anyways, the reason for my podcast today is to share with you some tissue repairing and tissue building foods that I am currently trying to consume because they are good for me and because they are the building blocks of repairing new tissues quickly. Okay, so every single person out there can benefit from this podcast today. So like I said, if you know anybody who is dealing with a broken bone, any sort of surgery, any sort of, children who are growing, they need to be eating these foods. And, honestly, this should be the backbone of your nutrition is foods that are anti-inflammatory, because inflammation is the cause of all of our problems. It's always going to start with some sort of inflammation in the body. So anti-inflammatory foods, and I'll get into these here in a minute, but some anti-inflammatory foods that you can be consuming on a daily basis include vegetables like spinach, kale, and carrots, specifically those three, and I'll tell you why here in a second. And then other anti-inflammatory foods or even spices are onions, garlic, ginger, flax seeds, cherries, pineapple. And then spices, turmeric, and cinnamon. Okay, so just maybe take some notes or come back to this podcast when you can actually take some notes on this stuff, because you should have this in your diet on a daily basis. All of these, in some way, shape, or form, start to build your meals around these types of foods and around these types of spices and, just additives like the onions and the garlic and ginger. Okay, so the next step would be healing vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin A, and zinc. Okay, and it is always best to get these in the form of food rather than in a pill. Vitamin C is an antioxidant that helps to actually improve your collagen formation. So as it's doing that, it's also helping your skin to repair, your blood vessels, your cartilage. And obviously vitamin C is found in lemons and oranges, but you can also find it in grapefruits and other tropical fruits. So kiwi, for example, kiwi is a really big source of vitamin C as well. Okay, so then we want to get vitamin A in our diet, and you can get this in the form of fortified dairy products, green vegetables like spinach, and fruits like orange fruits specifically, like oranges and carrots. They all contain vitamin A. And this vitamin is directly involved in soft tissue repair and formation. Okay. So like when I was able to finally eat again, these were the staples. These were the backbone of my diet, of what I'm eating right now and what I'm planning to, have for a daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all of something like this. So, the last thing I'm going to mention here is protein, high protein, good quality proteins, because the protein is really the most important part. The other ones I would say, okay, here's how I visualize it. The protein is like the structure of a home. You have to have the structure, and then you put the siding on, and then you put the roof on, and then you put the insides in. And so the vitamins, the minerals, the zinc, the vitamin A, the vitamin C, the antioxidants, the anti-inflammatory properties are all the accessories, but you have to build the structure with the protein. And the protein is, you need to look for high quality, complete protein products. So that means they have the full range of the amino acid profile that you need to be having. So eating a diet that is high in protein, but is appropriate for you based on your lean muscle mass is really important, because that is the building blocks of every new cell that you are creating. And you want to look for complete proteins that are such as eggs, chicken, turkey, fish, lean red meats. Bison is really good. And those are really wonderful sources of protein. Now, some incomplete sources of protein would be things like peanuts. Legumes aren't necessarily a complete protein, because you are going to be missing some certain amino acids from those. Broccoli has protein, but it's not a complete protein. Cauliflower is the same. Walnuts, asparagus even has protein in it, but they're not complete protein. They don't have the full range of the amino acids that you need. So what's really important is to make sure that you are having really high quality. I do eat meat, but I also make sure it's high quality. So I'm getting ethically raised organic protein from Whole Foods or from wherever I'm getting it, sometimes directly from the farmer. And Greek yogurt, eggs, turkey, chicken, grass-fed beef, as your body is recovering, it needs protein. This is absolutely required in the multiple processes that are taking place as your body is building and repairing new tissue. So this is the absolute bare bones, backbone of your diet and what you should be having. So like I said, I'm going to get back to some of these here in a minute. Some antioxidants, some vitamin C foods. You'll want to make sure that with vitamin C, you're having foods like kiwis, even broccoli has vitamin C in it. Other citrus fruits like lemon or grapefruits. So vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin that your body does not have the ability to make, so which means you have to get it in your diet. And it plays an important role in the healing process because it's building new protein for the skin, scar tissues, tendons, ligaments, and blood vessels. So it helps in that whole entire process along with the proteins. It also helps our bodies to maintain cartilage and bone tissues. So with the healing properties of vitamin C, it helps to fight against free radicals in the body. And free radicals are molecules in the body that can cause significant damage to come from the external environment, such as foods that we eat. So yeah, the foods that you eat have free radicals in them, and so your body will start to protect against them. High intensity workouts, like, even the figureFIT workouts, those are high intense workouts, and those create stress in the body. So you need to make sure you're fueling and providing the right proteins after the workout, vitamin C after the workouts. I always have one of my isogenic shakes after every single one of my workouts, and I also have a vitamin C. If I'm not doing the added isofruits, then I'm doing just a pill for vitamin C, or I'm doing the Isogenics Hydrate, and because that one's so good, and it turns my shake into like an orange creamsicle. Oh, so good. So good. And then so vitamin A. Okay, so vitamin A promotes the production of white blood cells. And so for me right now, you guys, I've had a fever for about on and off post this surgery for about a month. And the body is, my tonsils were removed. That's a part of the immune system. So the body's really trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Lady, you just took a part of the body out. So what's going on? The body has to figure out a new way to work everything. And the body creates white blood cells to help fight off infections and viruses. And if you don't have like a visual injury, like an open wound, or like mine is, it's on the inside, the body is still relying on the production of white blood cells to protect against the injury and increase the rate of healing. And right now I'm actually probably pretty low on the vitamin A, and I need to amp this up with sweet potatoes, carrots, winter squash, Swiss chard, sunflowers, spinach. All of those are just loaded with vitamin A. And foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are fantastic for fighting inflammation in the body. And what you want to be doing is having foods like salmon, flax seeds, and even walnuts. I'd say salmon is one of the best sources of protein and omega-3 fatty acids that you can get. Even sardines. And yes, I eat sardines not because I like them, but because they're so incredibly good for you. Research shows that if you're having sardines a couple of times a week, you don't necessarily have to be buying fish oil. And if you're eating salmon, you don't necessarily have to be taking it in the pill form. So eat it. Foods rich in zinc. Let's go back to this one. Zinc is helpful for the immune system, and it is very important in the healing process because zinc will help your body use the fats and the proteins that you consume to promote growth and healing of injured tissues and helping the immune system. So you can get zinc, like I said earlier, in lean, grass-fed meats, chicken, seeds, oysters, and some nuts, okay? Obviously, you should always be adding in antioxidants as well. And these are wonderful little additives that I just love to bring into my diet, like ginger. Even coffee has antioxidants in it. So don't feel so bad about having that daily coffee. Turmeric is an anti-inflammatory antioxidant. Cherries, blueberries are loaded with antioxidants. And so those free radicals that I mentioned earlier, those are toxins in the body. They're just kind of floating around in the bloodstream. And what we want to do is we want to weaken them by eating the foods that are good for us, that have antioxidants in them. So blueberries, those cherries, even strawberries are going to help control the free radicals in the body. Ginger and turmeric are anti-inflammatory, and they can help with the process of rebuilding and building new tissues. And then some research shows that coffee is it's actually proven to decrease the recovery time, but be helpful in restoring the central nervous system. So therefore making you a little bit better. I don't exactly know how that works, but it's so funny because there's that constant battle. Is coffee good for you? Is coffee bad for you? Yes, I think that coffee does have antioxidants. So, in that case, yes, it's good for you. Now, however, if you are completely stressed out and you're having 4 cups a day, or that you're just living on coffee like it's water, then guess what? Yeah, no, that's not good for you. Having a cup a day is fine. And I'm going to kind of close out today talking about habits, because this is one of the most important things that you can start to get a handle of, is your daily pattern, your life pattern, because we are creatures of habit. We wake up, we have that coffee, or what really drives me batty is the people who at the end of the day have a beer or a wine every single day, and then they complain that they're fat. It's like, dude, change your freaking habit. Change it. Get some self-awareness and make a freaking change. And you're not going to change unless you do something different. At my studio right now, I'm doing a 30-day challenge with a lot of my clients about choosing one thing that you want to change and you want to create more balance around. So for some people, it is that daily glass of wine. Like one of my clients, she's drinking beer all the time on the weekend, simply because she's laying out. And she knows it's not serving her, but she's in the habit of doing it. And there's people around her who are in the habit of doing it. So I'm like, you're going to have to make a choice about what you're going to do. And if you can just do something for 30 days, make one little change that, okay, this weekend coming up, I'm going to do this instead. I'm not going to have the beer. Maybe I'll just, have a bunch of water, just flavor my water, have some club soda with lemon, or have some club soda with just something else, just kind of like change it, but doing it consistently for 30 days and just doing one. So not overwhelming herself and choosing multiple things, just choosing one thing. So for me right now, I am focused on my one thing. That's actually the book that my figureFIT tribe is reading right now in our private group, is The One Thing. And we are hyper-focused on putting all of our eggs in one basket. You hear not to do that, but that's in like certain regards, right? But in regards to changing yourself, you sometimes have to. No, you don't sometimes. You have to. You have to focus. You have to choose a one thing. You have to dedicate yourself. You have to dedicate your focus to doing the one thing consistently until it works for you. So this is essentially breaking a bad habit and building a new habit. So feel free to join me and my tribe at the studio or my tribe online and get that book, The One Thing. Read it and let that be something that helps you focus, because you're not going to, you've also heard this, like master of, what is it? What is that quote? Like when you're jack of all trades, master of none. That's the problem. So when you're a jack of all trades, you're never going to be the master at one of them. So now's your time to focus. Now's your time to do what is good for you. And let this just be your inspiration to move forward and make that choice. So you guys, I'm going to sign off. I hope that this has helped you. So take the list of foods today. Whether you are going through a repairing or not, your body's always building new cells, and you're always trying to prevent the breakdown of your skin tissue, your collagen, right? You don't want wrinkles, right? So slow this process down. Eat these foods. All right, guys, Love you all. I hope you have a fantastic day. Stay connected to me because I am launching Nierzwicki.com very, very soon. And all of my spiritual teaching, all of the mindset coaching, all of that is going to be coming to you pretty much free all of the time. So this podcast is dedicated to health, fitness, and mindset. The other one is going to be dedicated to mindset, spirituality, and living your soul's truth. All right, guys, I love you all. Have a fantastic day. Ciao. Today's episode is sponsored by the figureFIT mentoring program. Mentoring can come in a lot of different ways, and one of the ways can be to sign up for a higher end program like the Target Body Training Guide or the Fitness Model Body Program, or even simply the mentoring program. Here is a clip from Rebecca Arsena. She is currently in the process of doing a 6-month to 12-month transformational fitness model body program. And here's what Rebecca has to say.
It's been hard, but it's been a learning experience. My digestion has had trouble keeping up, so I've had to tweak my food some and figure out what exactly is going to work for me to get the macros I need daily to be able to build some muscle. And the weight workouts have been great. Missing some cardio, but I'm going to switch that up in the next couple weeks, get some cardio into. I can't imagine having done this without Liz. If I had tried this myself, I'd have probably quit by now, to be quite honest. So Liz has been instrumental in as far as I've gotten to this point, and very supportive. So grateful to have had her coaching me, and look forward to the next 18 weeks till my show.
So doing the fitness model body training is absolutely one way that you can work one-on-one with me. And it's kind of, it's very, we touch base weekly. I have another client right now that I'm mentoring in terms of just really breaking her bad habits. She's a binge eater, and helping her with that and just giving her certain exercises, not physical, mental, writing, things that she'll be doing during the week to kind of gain some self-awareness. I have another private mentoring client that I'm working with, and he is all about trying to fix his digestion and then also get a six-pack. So I just signed up somebody yesterday on helping them to develop their structure for starting a business, because I've done this multiple times. So you know what? There's a lot of different ways that we can work together. It really just comes down to where you're at in your life and what you want your next step to be. I have worked with mentors over the course of my journey, and it's absolutely the number one thing that I've ever done every single time that has propelled me forward. You are going to, there's a phrase that says, if you can stay stuck for years and years and years, but the moment you do that one thing that's going to propel you forward, just watch out, because the floodgates open up for you, and it's absolutely fantastic. So you guys, I would love to help you, be your mentor, be your coach. Head over to figurefitlife.com, the shop page, and take a look at the mentoring program. You could do the Target Body Training Guide, or you could do the Fitness Model Body Program. They're all out there, and you would just reach out to me and we'll get you going. All right. So you guys have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me today on the figureFIT Lifestyle Coaching Podcast. I am incredibly grateful that you stopped by. If you could take just 1 second to share this episode with someone you think would love it and who can use it, I would be so incredibly grateful and honored. And I know that your friends will thank you too. Also, if you feel so moved, we would be incredibly grateful if you could go into iTunes and leave us a rating and a review. Leave us an honest thought, an honest comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you love. Tell us what you need more of. It would really help us out on our journey to help thousands and thousands of people reconnect back to their soul, live a life of health and happiness, and to love the body that they are in. Until then, don't forget that you are so worth your own self-love, self-care, and investment in your body, your goals, and your life. Thank you so much for tuning in today, everybody. Have a great day.